Hello everyone. This is a follow-up to my last battery video. I'll be testing a brand new battery to see how it performs, just because I'm interested in doing it. Practice makes perfect, and I seem to have learned a better method of reading the hydrometer. So if I rattle it around a bit and let it just float there, the reading is a lot better. That's like almost... But I'm still load testing a bit too long. Maybe I need to use a timer. And as promised, I'll be looking a bit deeper into the specific gravity and blending of battery electrolyte. I also had to re-record the load testing of my new battery. As you'll see, it turned out a bit better. So let's get started. So we got a brand new battery. We picked it up right at the Interstate distributor. It's an MT25. It's a Group 25 battery, which is what the Subaru Outback calls for. 550 cold cranking amps. The original had 490 cold cranking amps. And this battery has a 24-month replacement warranty and a 5-year performance warranty, they call it. I think it's probably just a prorated warranty where 4 years from now, if the battery's bad and we replace it, we'll have to pay like 80% of the cost of a new battery because we used 80% of the battery's warranty life. But so now we're gonna put this in, but I thought as long as we have this, it might be interesting to do some testing and comparisons on a brand new battery. So let me just pry these lids off. This handle is both convenient and annoying at the same time. So I'll just try and soak this stuff up. Brand new battery, it should be full. Well, they're all pretty good. There's a couple of them that aren't exactly right up to where they should be. Hard to tell. Okay. So I'm going to start with doing a specific gravity test. Okay, I'm just trying to get it so it's floating. And it's definitely in the green. 1.275. It's below that line. It's definitely in the green. And it's above the 1.30 line. So 1.275 in the green. So it's definitely better than the old battery. Same. Yep. 1.275. Whoa, that one's way better than 1.275. Yep, 1.275. Yeah, so if I rattle it around a bit and let it just float there, the reading is a lot better. That's like almost 1.3. Let's try that over here. Yeah. Get it floating at a good level and then rattle that float around a bit. And when it settles, yeah, it's at right around that 1.3. It's much better. It reads better that way. So I think the idea is to get it floating at a good level right there. Rattle that float around a bit, let everything settle. And it's way better. That's 1.275. About 4 more tick marks above that. So it's lower on the scale, but more greater specific gravity. Now let's not neglect temperature compensation. We'll do it the old-fashioned way, just for practice. If the temperature is above the 80 Fahrenheit standard, specific gravity is corrected by adding 0.004 for every 10 degrees above 80 degrees. If the temperature is below the 80 Fahrenheit standard, specific gravity is corrected by subtracting 0.004 for every 10 degrees below 80 degrees. The thermometer on the post in the garage read 46 degrees Fahrenheit. So the ambient temperature is 46 degrees Fahrenheit. My overall specific gravity reading was 1295. 80 degrees minus 46 degrees equal a 34 degree differential. 34 degrees divided by 10 equals 3.4. 3.4 times 0.004 equals 0.0136. 1.295 minus 0.0136 is approximately 1.281. So my temperature adjusted specific gravity is 1281. 1281 is a very good specific gravity reading. As promised in my previous battery video, I want to take a little deeper dive into understanding specific gravity. So what is specific gravity? Specific gravity is the ratio of the density of a liquid to the density of distilled water. Density is defined as weight per unit volume. In practical terms, density is the weight of a substance for a specific volume, like pounds per gallon. The density of water is roughly 1 gram per milliliter, but this changes with temperature or if there are substances dissolved in it. Water is actually 0.9998 grams per milliliter at 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature of its maximum density. Take note, the standard temperature used when measuring the specific gravity of battery electrolyte is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been demonstrated that when the battery is fully charged, battery electrolyte has the maximum density at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The density of water at 80 degrees Fahrenheit is 8.318 pounds per gallon. But what's the density of sulfuric acid? In one reference source, I read that the specific gravity of 100% pure sulfuric acid is 1840. Another source said 1835. Another source said the specific gravity of a 97% solution of sulfuric acid at 60 degrees Fahrenheit is 1840. Sometimes they specify temperature and/or purity, but often they don't. My sources were too inconsistent to trust. So I found sources that are a little more scientific than most automotive-related subject matter. After searching around a bit, I realized you can't really get 100% pure sulfuric acid, and the best chemical suppliers I discovered had it at 98% purity. What's the density of sulfuric acid? Handymath.com has a density calculator that told me 98% sulfuric acid at 80 degrees Fahrenheit has a density of 1.829 kilograms per liter, which converts to 15.264 pounds per gallon. Specific gravity is the ratio of the density of a liquid to the density of distilled water. The density of 98% sulfuric acid at 80 degrees Fahrenheit is 15.264 pounds per gallon. The density of water at 80 degrees Fahrenheit is 8.318 pounds per gallon. To calculate the specific gravity of a liquid, divide the weight of that liquid by the weight of water. So 15.264 pounds per gallon over 8.318 pounds per gallon equals 1835 specific gravity. If we blended our own electrolyte, the mixture would be 65% water plus 35% acid to get 100% electrolyte. When the sulfuric acid is diluted with water to make the battery electrolyte, the specific gravity of the end product should be between 1265 and 1300. 1 times 65% plus 1.835 times 35% equals the specific gravity. 1 times 0.65 plus 1.835 times 0.35 equals the specific gravity. 0.65 plus 0.64225 equals 1.292 specific gravity. And we can see that a specific gravity of 1292 is a potent blend for a fully charged battery. So my numbers aren't too far off. And so now load testing this new battery should be the interesting part. Remember, you always hook up and disconnect the negative. Hold the phone. Remember, in my previous video, I discussed the poor instructions that came with this tester. Well, my original footage was all based on that. As a result, I had to re-record the load testing of the new battery. But first I did some investigation. This load tester says right on it, 10-second test time, max 15 seconds. This one says 10-second test time. This one says 10-second test time. This load tester says 10-second test time, max time 15 seconds. This one says 10-second test time. This one says maximum 10-second test time. This one says maximum 10-second test time. I think the Centech load tester I have is of no better quality than any of those. I also know that load testing the new battery for 15 seconds resulted in smoke pouring from it. Boy, this is smoking. And the cold cranking amps on the load tester read well above the 800 mark. I'll never do that again. In any future load testing I do with this, I'll be targeting 5 to 10 seconds. That doesn't mean I won't inadvertently exceed 10 seconds, but I'll be trying not to. Speaking of future testing, here's the re-recorded load testing. Here's the setup. The negative battery terminal is removed from the battery, the negative battery cable. I've got the load tester connected to the battery. I have a digital meter connected to the battery, which you see over here. And I've got my amp clamp on the load tester, which you see right here. Okay, we'll do a 5 to 10 second load test. Thing got pretty hot. That went up to over 800 cold cranking amps. The meter on the load tester was reading 13 volts before the load test. Now it's just a skosh under. It's like 12.9. Before the load test, the battery was reading 12.6 volts. Now it's reading 12.48. Like me, PV Blaster is hard to control. Works good. Get that hooked under there. There's a place where that hooks. Tighten it down nice and snug, but not tight. You don't want to crush the plastic case. That's not going anywhere. Tight. Everything's tight. And that's that. New battery. While I was working on this video, I discovered a mistake I'm making by bringing some of my batteries into the basement for the winter. It makes it a lot easier to keep them on a float charger without having to go outside to move it from battery to battery. But I've learned a few things about storing batteries for the winter. The first thing being that batteries should be fully charged before being stored. A good thing to know is that batteries with specific gravity readings of less than 1165 will freeze at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Batteries that aren't being used, like those that are stored for the winter, will gradually self-discharge. Self-discharge results from chemical actions that are similar to those that produce the flow of current from the battery. Even when a battery isn't connected in an electrical circuit, self-discharge causes the battery to slowly run down. The rate of battery self-discharge depends on temperature. At lower temperatures, a battery will self-discharge more slowly because chemical actions are suppressed by cold. So I'm planning to move my batteries back out to the barn for the winter. They'll maintain their charge better out in the cold. As the temperature increases, the rate of self-discharge will also increase, and vice versa. A fully charged battery, kept at 80 degrees Fahrenheit, becomes half discharged in 3 months. A battery in storage should be fully charged every 30 days, or use a float charger to maintain the charge. There's a float charger on my F-150 now that it's been sitting out there for more than a month. After a couple days, I'll move it to my tractor's battery. By moving 2 float chargers from battery to battery each week, they'll all stay charged even while they're not being used much. The new battery definitely puts out huge cold cranking amps. It's great knowing that's available for our 10-degree days. I had fun working with batteries and learning some new things. I hope you enjoyed this too. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.